The simplest form of a joke is XYZ. Don't believe me? Watch through this video to see my reasoning for it, and then decide for yourself. If you disagree or got a better way to explain it, feel free to drop a comment down below. And while you are there, you could also recommend other topics I could cover in another episode of Comedy Theory, a series that I wanna try to get into in hopes of it turning successful, even if only a little. What's up guys, it is I, Snick, and today I've decided to explore this topic after a sharper thought I had one day, so grab your snacks, drinks, and get comfortable because we are beginning the show. The simplest form of a joke is XYZ. No, this isn't math, so please don't yet stop the video, but please do hear me out for a while. The X is the someone of the joke, the Y is the action X is doing, and Z is where it is being done. For example, I'm gonna use a joke that some of you may have heard of before. A horse walks into a bar. Now I can hear all of you collectively face palming, but it follows the structure that I have set up pretty well. A horse, X, walks into, Y, a bar, Z. The XYZ is there in clear-cut form, but the joke isn't finished. This is only the hook of the joke. Where is the punchline? The earlier statement of this not being met was false, but the simplest form statement isn't necessarily wrong. I just need to dress it up a little. Just give me a moment. Much better. But if we looked at it at a proper mathematical angle, it would be false. But it isn't proper math. It's just much easier to show it in this way for me. I'm a math nerd. Anyway, we had added a new part of the joke structure, the big P, our punchline, which structure can be equal to that of the hooks. Let's go back to our example. A horse walks into a bar is the hook. The bartender asks, why the long face is the punchline. X1 plus Y1 plus Z1 equals X2 plus Y2 is how it is structured. The bartender, X2, asks why the long face, Y2. We got our basic joke structure, now we can add flavors to it. For example, A1 times X1 plus A2 times Y1 plus A3 times Z1 equals A4 times X2 plus A5 times Y2. All of the A's being flavor text. A sad horse quietly walks into a classical bar. The old bartender solemnly asks, why the long face? The A's don't change the joke itself, they just give it some flavor. The basic joke structure can also be expanded upon. W1 plus X1 plus Y1 plus Z1 equals W2 plus X2 plus Y2, with the W being our van. On a Tuesday afternoon, a horse walks into a bar. Seconds after their arrival, the bartender asks, why the long face? This is just another way of flavouring that allows the joke to get another layer to it. Another way to expand it is x1 plus y1 plus z1 plus q1 equals x2 plus y2 plus q2, where the q is our y. A horse walks into a bar to grab a drink. The bartender asks, why the long face, out of curiosity. Again, this can be used to give it another layer. Our Q can also be a punchline replacement if we do the following. I plus X plus Y plus Z equals Q, where I is a question that is part of the joke. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. At the end of the day, we still need to make sure not to overdo these, because sometimes a joke, even if hilarious in its base, can end up turning unfunny with too much flavor and expansion, or just end up being too much to the one listening to the joke. Just like a food can end up overflavored with too much spices, or end up too much to handle when too many ingredients are used. But hey, that's just a theory. Wait, am I even allowed to do that? But jokes aside, thanks for coming in and watching this video. It means a lot to me considering this video might end up being the one I had put the most amount of effort into so far. And if you wanna see more like, or even the other contents I make and would make, then subscribe and press that bell button not to miss out. Thanks again, and bye bye.